I'm going to let you in on a little secret. Politics and the economy don't actually impact your business. Hey guys, I'm Thaddeus Tondu. I am the co-founder and CEO of On Purpose Media. Thank you for watching this video, and I'm going to actually share in here a little bit about politics and the recession and how it generally doesn't affect your business, and it's actually bigger than you think. All right, let's dive in. So, politics, economy, recession, all that good stuff. You're like, well, shit, maybe. Okay, so let me tell you this. I'm going to put a disclaimer on this, a big asterisk. Okay, industry specific. Good example here in, I was reading in Alberta, up in Canada, that one of the government actually put a 6-month moratorium on solar power and solar farms, and so they actually stopped all development of all solar panels and solar projects and solar farms for the use of solar power. Okay, that definitely impacted the business. Okay, there's not much you can do about that. But by and large, the majority of businesses, I mean, those are some of the bigger businesses that you're talking about. I'm talking about like the smaller mom and pop shops. Generally speaking, this applies to you. Okay? Or HVAC, plumbing, and electrical, it definitely applies to you. And so sometimes people get this idea that the political policies are going to impact your business, or a recession is going to impact your business. And now part of that is true. You might see a little bit of a dip in terms of your revenue and your sales, but it's not going to generally be as big as what you actually think. And there's also a couple things that go into this, right? And you think about it. So, and I know this, by the way, for a fact, like I started a print magazine in Canada in 2014, and I was actually the first person in Western Canada to start this concept, the fourth ever in Canada to launch it. Like I had 2 examples to show from Ontario. Like this is, by the way, if you look at like the US to Canada, is like basically straight north of Montana and straight north of Buffalo, right? Like kind of that's how big of a distance we're talking about, right? Completely different areas, completely different markets, etc. People are like, well, is it going to work here? I'm like, well, yeah, it's people, right? People are the same. Well, I ended up launching it, ended up building up to, I believe, 50 magazines in Western Canada before I moved on and started this company. And I also know that in 2015, when I was doing print media, I actually expanded and brought on 2 more magazines. So I had 3 at the time. 2015 was actually mirrored in a mini economic slump inside of Alberta. The economy was very heavily tied to oil and gas. And everyone's like, well, it's going to be a recession. It's a recession. It's a recession. It's a recession. And it actually was. But guess what? I launched 2 print magazines and countless others inside the market in different areas in Alberta during a recession inside of that area. Print media in 2015, when people were saying nothing was going to happen, they weren't investing in advertising. See, here's the thing. During that time, I actually did a study, and I actually referenced and I found all of this information. There's other studies that were out there as well. And so I tried to find as much information as I possibly could on the history of advertising in recessions. Now, this goes back to about 1945, into the World War II, is when really it started to become more prevalent from an advertising perspective. You think about TV, radio, all those good things. What they found is that every decade, guess what? We get a down and we get an up. Right? There's a peak and a valley, boom and a bust, whatever you want to call it. Generally, every 7 years that happens. Sometimes longer, sometimes shorter, just depending on economic cycles. But in every valley, the companies that actually continue to spend money in marketing and continue to spend money in advertising, when they came out of the valley and went up, because guess what? It always does. It always goes back up. Those businesses were actually poised and had a greater likelihood, I think the number was like 200% greater likelihood of growth versus the companies who pulled back and reduced their marketing spend. Okay, so the recession doesn't necessarily affect your business. It might affect you short term, but here's the other caution that a lot of people run into troubles with. I'm going to use round hole numbers. You can apply this to your business. I'm just going to use $1 million as an example for a business. And let's just say your marketing spend is 10% and your net income or your profit or what you're paying yourself is 20%. So you've got $100,000 in marketing spend. You've got $200,000 of money going into your pocket. Random examples, okay? I'm making my life and my math easy. So if you take a look at this and you say $1 million, okay, well, if a recession happens and I'm going to play pretend, you lose 10% of your revenue. You're going to go down to 900,000. Okay, not that bad. You're down 900,000. Hey, here's what most people do. They actually will be like, wait, I'm down $100,000. Where can I slash money? Marketing. Done. I'm going to cut $100,000 out of my marketing budget. Boom. I got her. I can still pay myself my 20% and I can still make my money of what I need to make, a little bit less, I can still, I'll pay myself 200,000. Right, yeah, whatever. I got it. It's actually the worst thing that you can do. See, the trouble is that whenever something happens, politically or recession or whatever, people are like, oh, I'm going to pull back marketing. I'm going to wait to see what happens. Wrong thing to do. Here's the actuality of how that should look. And so if you think, okay, $1 million down to 900,000, well, 10% marketing is actually 90,000. So you don't reduce your marketing by 100,000, you reduce it by 10,000. Okay? If you look at 20% of 900,000, 180,000. So your number goes down too. Now, obviously, there's some other factors that might go and play there: team, staff, pay, whatever, all those good things. You might have to look at a layoff or two. That's just the reality, okay? But here's the other part of that. The other businesses that go, hey, wait a second. If everybody's pulling money back into marketing, why don't I just spend more? Okay, the companies that spend more, guess what happens to them? Woo, they grow. It's a fascinating concept. You spend more on marketing and you end up growing, right? So don't get lost in this ideology that you have to cut the entirety of your marketing budget out just because there's a different leader inside the political spectrum, whether US, Canada, anywhere in the world for that matter. Don't have to cut it that much. Hey, if you think there's going to be a recession, you don't have to cut it that much, because guess what? The end of every recession, it comes a boom, guys. There comes a boom, and you want to be better positioned and poised for your business. Now, you could go into more some of the traditional forms of advertising where it's the branding play. It's not necessarily that call to action. See, here's what this also does when you continue to spend money in an unturbulent time, or turbulent time rather, not unturbulent. I think unturbulence even a word. Turbulent time. We can use that because now this is a catch-all for almost everything. If you continue to spend money in marketing and advertising in some of the more offline forms, the branding plays, in a turbulent time, guess what this signal sends to the people that are out in the market? Ooh, this company is successful. Ooh, this company is strong. Ooh, this company isn't necessarily worried about it. I might not need their services right now, but damn it, I'm going to remember them when it comes time that I have more money to be able to spend these things on. Here's the other reality. When you think about plumbing and HVAC specifically, I mean, that's what On Purpose Media does, is marketing for plumbing and electrical, HVAC, plumbing, and electrical companies. We do other home services, but by and large, it's mainly HVAC and plumbing and electrical. If you're in the northern parts, Canada, northern US, and it's cold and your furnace breaks, guess what? Going to have to call somebody. Can't go without a furnace. If you're down in the far south, in like Florida, Texas, in anywhere in and around the southern Sun Belt for that matter, and it's the middle of summer and your AC goes out, guess what? Probably going to call somebody, right? Probably going to call somebody. No matter what's happening in turbulent time, you're going to want that. Right? This is why it's so important to continue to spend money on marketing, and especially the marketing that matters. Hopefully this video helps. Hopefully you took some great information from this and to continue to ramp up your marketing. Of course, if you don't know where to start, hey, guess what? Let's have a conversation. Reach out to us at onpurposemedia.ca/second. We can get a second opinion if you want to go from straight to a discovery or a strategy call. onpurposemedia.ca/book gets you to our calendars. You can book a time with us. Let's have a conversation. Let's chat to see if we can help you continue to grow your business, whether it's turbulent or unturbulent. We'll help you out. We'll be able to grow your business. Thank you for watching. Be sure that if you like this video, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the comment, share this video out so more people can learn from this. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you on the next video.